Hello everyone, and welcome back for some more Xbox Live indie games. We're back here again for another week. This time it's about the games that were released last week, from December the 4th, 2011 to December the 10th. Not as many games as last time, and I'm quite happy about that. But the first game that we're going with today is Pinnock, I guess is how you pronounce that. So let's see how this... It's Pong. Yes, it's Pong. In space. Okay, so let's see how this Pong game goes. So far, it's, changing backgrounds. There we go, keeping with the space theme. It looks like there were two gray monoliths in space, playing Pong with, I guess, an asteroid. Some nice music playing. This is classic Pinnock, by the way. There's also a super mode, and we'll be taking a look at that. The asteroid is slowly getting faster. Yeah, gradually. Nice looking backgrounds anyway. I admire the developer for determining that he wanted to make Pong for XBLIG, but I do wonder if this is really the best market for it. I have been noticing in the past weeks that... reaching the end of the trial. Guess I'll have to go back. Like I said, I have been noticing in the past weeks XBLIG games that really you might think would be more suitable for mobile devices. Like I could see maybe... possibly someone wanting to play a simple game like Pong on a mobile, maybe, because that kind of thing seems to be popular, but Pong on the 360? I don't know. Classic Turbo, by the way, I believe that's with the asteroid at full speed all the time. Now, Super Pinnock, a little different. We've got colors, and I can change the color of the paddle. The color of the paddle has to be the same color as the asteroid at the time of impact. Otherwise it goes right through, as you saw. Which is kind of annoying if the color changes right before it hits your paddle. And, let's see, it's green right now, yellow. And, let's see, there's also something else I noticed that I could do. That's interesting. Wrong button. It's changing colors right before it reaches me. It's just changing to the color of the button that I have to press. So at least... Okay. That's all for the trial. I mean, I guess it was short, but I guess that's enough for the trial. I mean, it's Pong. There's Pong with additional complications, like additional rules, like the color changing. But it's Pong. You probably don't want to play Pong on your 360, but if you do, it's here. It's Pinnock. It's in space, waiting for you. Next up is Avatar Rumble, which appears to be a fighting game in the vein of Smash Brothers. The attacks, the controls look very similar. And if we saw screenshots, you would see that it looks pretty similar, but unfortunately I can't play it, because it doesn't seem to have a single-player mode, just multiplayer. And I think it's just local multiplayer, as far as I can tell. And there's my avatar, ready to fight, but there's no one to fight him. So unfortunately, we can't take a look at this. Shame, because I would have been interested in seeing a clone of something that wasn't Minecraft. I haven't seen any Smash Brothers clones on the service as of yet, so this might have been unique in the clone games. And there's no zombies involved unless your avatar was a zombie, so... I don't know, maybe it could have been interesting, but unfortunately I can't play it. But hey, if you have someone who is willing to play XBLIG games with you, and you want to try it out and let me know how this was, tell me about it. You know, maybe I'll put your impressions in the next video if you can give me something good. So hey, there, Avatar Rumble, an in-depth look at it. Avatar Rumble. Next is They Breathe, a game where we control a frog. We go straight from the title screen to gameplay, which is an interesting thing. It's a pretty moody seeming game, kind of depressing music, and we jump into this water as a frog, going down to whatever may be waiting for us down below. We're a frog, so we do need air to breathe. Plenty of bubbles, though. And the only thing I can do is swim around and sort of... Oh, look at these guys. They seem to be having some trouble. Looks like that they're asking me for help. So, these two frogs seem to be incapable of getting air bubbles themselves. Let me just help... Okay, help that one. You wouldn't think this would be very hard. Okay, there we go. 2 air bubbles, and they were good to go. As we continue down, we can see that beneath the depths of the ocean, and we can see trees, it looks like. And some kind of moose thing. Some weird moose thing. It looks like its head is a frog, turned upside down and brown. It's definitely coming after me, though. But I think we could see those bubbles coming out of it. Look, okay, it ran out of air, and it's dead. Oh, hold on, now I'm starting to run out of air. Okay, there we go. So I like the tone of the game so far. It's very mysterious. It's pretty atmospheric, I think, with the ambient sound, and those things are pretty creepy, I have to say. I don't like those things. I don't know what they are, but I don't like them. We're going further down and reaching some tree branches with pine cones. Now, I think the only thing I have to do, yeah, just stay away from them and they'll eventually drown. I don't know how they survive this long underwater if they don't know how to get air bubbles. Okay. Further down we go. Is that some kind of growth growing on the tree, I guess? Can see some... Oh, there's a frog. And, more of those things. Oh, please stay away from me. Oh dear. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I don't like that at all. Look how fast he's become now. So I guess we can see what these things want to do. They want to grab me and do that. So let's stay away until they drown. Okay. I guess eating that frog did not let it survive any longer underwater. Eventually we're going to have to reach the bottom. Be interesting to see what's down there. And... green bubbles. Oh. I don't think the frog liked that. Yeah, he's making like a pained expression when I get those green bubbles. Yeah, and he was bleeding a little bit too. So let's avoid the green bubbles. Oh. Green bubbles being made by green... whatever this is. I don't know what are these things? They're like moose. Or some kind of long-legged turtle with a frog for a head? I don't know what I'm looking at. But maybe that's what happens to those things when they get enough frogs. This is the next stage of their development, I guess. But it, too, eventually died from lack of air. I don't know why none of these other things know to get the air bubbles. Okay. Got brown and green at the same time. It's a little bit difficult, actually, to try to evade them while also keeping an eye out for those green bubbles which are suffocating me. I kind of like this so far. It's interesting. This is sort of like more of the kind of thing I think of when I think of interesting indie games. Frog, I should probably try to rescue him. Why didn't he get that air bubble? It's right there. Ah. And he's actively coming after me. This game's freaking me out a little bit, honestly. It does a pretty good job of being strange and making you feel helpless. Okay, it looks like we're just about at the bottom now. Okay. Alright, so maybe this is an earlier form of that thing's development. So I guess we probably don't want it to catch us, because I guess if it does, I'm going to be its head. It's fast. Did it die? No. No, 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 no. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Okay, getting a bubble got me away from it. This is terrible. Why did the frog want to come down here? This is awful. Did he know that this was down here? This thing's not dying. Why isn't it dying? Before, every other enemy would drown eventually, but it's not happening here. I need a bubble. I don't know if I'm going to get it in time. Oh, trial ended. So I guess that was 8 minutes. That was actually good. I liked that. That was interesting. And it was actually pretty tense. I don't know how far away I was from the end. It seemed like I was almost at the ocean floor, and I guess that's I would guess that's where it's going to end, because that seemed to be the whole point, was to get to the bottom. But yeah, I might buy that one to see how that goes. But I like that one. I mean, of these indie games, a lot of them that I don't like a whole lot, that one stood out for me. I enjoyed that. That was called They Breathe. And that was a little creepy, honestly. Next up this week is Stig Vez. Probably not how you pronounce it, but I don't care. Okay, it's some kind of multiplayer combat game where we can choose these characters. Let's choose the robotic spider, I guess. And, I'm shooting. He won. Okay, let's try whatever that is. Okay. So we have different abilities, we can shoot different things. My shots as this monster thing are very slow, but I guess a little more difficult to evade. It's sort of a dual joystick shooter because I can control my aim with the right stick, but I still have to press a button to actually shoot. And what's that music playing? And I'm fighting myself. This weapon I'm using kind of reminds me of the fire flamethrower in Contra, which was always the worst weapon in that game. I guess it seems to be doing okay here. Kind of an odd presentation, I guess. Let's try one more, I suppose. Whatever. Okay, Airwolf. Let's use that. All right, got small, fast shots. That seems okay. Spreads out a little bit. I think I like that better than the. Yeah, that seemed to work a lot better. So let's try using this. Next up, a two-headed dog who shoots single giant shot. Okay, not single ones. Doesn't reach across the whole screen, so it's not actually hitting me. All right, some kind of 2D shooting combat game. Not really sure what to compare. Oh, I'm fighting myself again. I'm not sure what to compare this to, honestly. It's an interesting idea, but controls don't feel so great. I mean, it's very simple. No real physics involved or anything like that. Very plain. I don't know what that is. What is that? Well, so far the helicopter's been great, though. I barely have to do anything. And a winged alien robot, I guess. I mean, if the developer tried to work on this concept, maybe there'd be something there. I'm not even talking about the graphics, but just making the controls a bit better and maybe adding a bit more complexity to the fighting. And now, soldier guy. Oh. Because I'm not really seeing too much of a reason to play this, honestly. I mean, if you were playing against a real person, I guess the whole thing just comes down to being able to shoot where you think the opponent's going to move to, and trying to force them, I guess, to move into the path of your shots if you can. What? What is that? Oh, fires everything at once. Okay, yeah, it's not that hard to get, I guess. Kind of reminds me in some ways of the Atari 2600 game Combat. Oh. I mean, Combat had walls and obstacles, so it's not exactly the same, and it moved a lot slower than this. But the whole premise of having two things on screen that are shooting at each other, and the shots move slow enough that you're going to have... oh, it's the Stone-like God. The idea that you're firing shots that are slow enough that you have to shoot where you think your opponent's gonna be, it's kind of reminds me of that, but... Well. Okay, that's Stig Vez. It's playable. Yeah, playable. Next up is Fractalus. I'm not sure if this would be called a game. Basically, this is how it works. We choose some music, either the in-game tracks, or we can choose something from our own library, and then colors glow. And we can look at the fractals. We can pan and we can change the colors of the fractals. And we can zoom out, and zoom in. I didn't want to select that. Yeah, we can zoom in pretty close to these fractals. That says how close we can zoom. That's pretty interesting looking. Though, like I said, it's not a game. Just an interesting visual, I guess. are you going to actually want to use this for more than just a few seconds? You know, as a novelty? I don't know. I guess if you use different music tracks, the pulsating of the glow would be different. So there's that. Yeah. As far as I can tell, that's it. It's cool looking, but it's not really a game, you know? It's Fractalus. Fun with fractals.